hello Twitch, hello YouTube, welcome in Aki, welcome in Fizzy, so good to see both of you today. Thank you so much for coming in again. Great to see you. How's everybody doing? How are we? I was really tired on Sunday. I had to go to a freaking meeting at like 10 AM and I woke up way before that for some godforsaken reason. So I decided to just sleep all afternoon and cancel stream. I do apologize and thank you for your patience to the people who were looking forward to it, but we are so back and we are going to see the trial conclusion indeed. Heck yeah, heck yeah. For those of you who are not very familiar with this case, as you can see in the stream's title, there is a warning for talks and depictions of heavy subjects such as suicide in this stream, so if that is a trigger for you, please put yourself first if you have to leave the stream for that reason. Or if you gotta walk away, then that is absolutely okay. You are under no obligation to chat, under no obligation to explain. You always have to put yourself first before any streamer, okay? So with that warning out of the way, I'm going to already load my save. I've been on the edge of my seat for like 4 days since I didn't stream on Sunday. Farewell my Turnabout Part 2, Second Trial. Justice for all, last case. Let's go, gamers. Full disclaimer, I've got a guide open in a tab right here, but I'll try my best to figure it out without the guide. I will check it if I get stuck, but I'll be saving a lot. Let's dive right in. March 22nd, 2:14 PM. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, can't believe that Adrian. No way, not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. Would have been very easy for her to pull this off. Yeah, they're trying to put blame on my girl. I don't believe she's the murderer for 1 second. I don't know what you all think. I don't think Adrian is the killer, no way. The only person who had easy access to the knife he used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered bottle in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered one Corrida. Talk about conviction, Phoenix. How are you so certain? When I'm telling you she is not? Just a gut feeling I get. Feel free to clip this and clown me if if it turns out I'm wrong, but I believe in Adrian. But why? Thought she was buds with one. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial is over. Phoenix, you are speaking in riddles. What is up with you all of a sudden? You'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. But don't blame me. You have to find the real killer. Don't just say it's Adrian. Phoenix, why? God forbid women have anything. Seriously. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Yeah, you might go to jail for life. Take this more seriously, Matt. Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celestine Pax's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on missing Pax as her strength and reason to live. Ah, there it is. And then missing Pax suddenly killed herself. Sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it. It's Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. all to get the suicide note back. All of that could be true and she still couldn't be the killer, though. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about the relationship? Lotta, wasn't it? Better stated, Miss Sanders' dependency issues with regards to missing packs. Oh. Who told us that? Why am I blanking out? Hold on, I'm forgetting the characters in the case. I'm just gonna take a quick look. Who told us that? It was Edgeworth, right? Edgeworth told us, I'm pretty sure. Or Gumshoe. It was either one of them. That's all. Come on, close. There we go. Oh. Well, I'm stumped. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Hey, I'll do my best against my rival. You can count on me, Mia. And Matt, I guess. And Maya. Many M's. Who told us what? It was Edgeworth who told us that Adrian Andrews has a dependency on people and her composed demeanor is only a front. I don't think there's anything wrong with counting on others, though. If you need other people to get through life, I think that's pretty human. No one can really do it alone. Which is what I think. 2:25 p.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3. Chat, behave. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be okay. Thanks for coming, Aki, and I'll be right here. If there's anything major, I'll recap you once you're back to your time. Court will now reconvene. That was a long 10-minute recess, wasn't it? Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. I hope I pronounced that right. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. My love. What is your occupation? I just blondes with brown hair. I'm weak. I am the manager of the defendant. Wait, yeah, blondes with brown eyes. Maybe I misspoke. Blondes with brown hair? Yeah, sorry. I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Marangar. I see, now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yeah, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Never even heard of it. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. Huh? What does that mean? So it was a fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. Chad, is this like old-fashioned slang or something? I'm very confused right now. Fry and bait? Bait and fry? Like, what's he talking about, the old-timer? But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that, except Phoenix. I'm not accusing her of that, but the game is acting like I am. Yeah. Think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. When I found the body. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. Fizzy Pixel, welcome back! Thanks for tuning in, hope you're having a nice day. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Surprise judge. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly, I did remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She's one cool and collected customer and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. Oh, you came out with a good case to make, Fizzy. That's so cool. Glad to hear it. Hope it turns out funny. Or at least dramatic if you're not going for funny. It needs that theatric flair. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Don't worry, Mia. I'll press till I find something good. Oh, and I have a bit of a little oopsie here. I better pay attention. What was Mr. Angard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Angard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? It? What are you? Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Wait, is the watch the subject? Oh, it was a verb. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Angard's knife from his room? No, why you look so smug, Adrian? Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Well, actually, SVO isn't every language, Edgeworth. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, one wanted to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Let's press. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim. Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. So I'll have to present evidence at that statement? Witness, what did you see when you go to his room? You were in shock. But was I not supposed to be? Why are you so sassy? You keep smiling when you say things like that. Don't be like that. Don't fall under Edgeworth's influence. Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Edgeworth, that's out of left field. Aren't you gay? Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. Yeah. I see. The exact same scene. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with a knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then what did you do next, witness? I fell, poured herself juice. Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There was no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? Isn't he always rude, Adrian? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind, it's no big deal. Huh? Among Us music? Yeah, let's press farther. Miss Andrews. I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Huh. This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? Oh, welcome back, Aki. Yeah, music stopped right now since we're at a critical point. Adrian Andrews pouring herself a glass of tomato juice. Well, she was in shock after finding Juan's body was the reason why there was a wine glass of untouched tomato juice. She was gonna faint or something, so she poured it, but she still didn't drink it, and she had a little slip-up saying that she just made a mistake, and Phoenix is pressing, and now she's saying her mistake was knocking over the flower vase on the dresser with her elbow. So that's about the gist of it. We just pressed her admittedly short testimony. That's all that's happened so far. Let's see, everyone's shocked. No problem. Anytime. I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over. It fell on the guitar case. Yeah, apparently the things were knocked over by the fight. At least the vase. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase and it was fairly big and heavy. Thought I would try to take one's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. Why are we using this like it's a fact? Like, even the most composed person isn't composed 1000% of the time. So why are we treating it like it is? What the heck, game? That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. You're gonna love the Apollo Justice Trilogy. I can't wait! Like, once we're done with this case, it's gonna probably be something really epic at the end, and then we'll probably hear even better music. And after that, it's gonna be Trials and Tribulations time after New Year's, I estimate. And once Trials and Tribulations is over, we are so hopping on to Apollo Justice. I do love Apollo's design. Yeah, it would be extremely cliche if Adrian is the murderer. I've been saying since the moment this stream started, like, free my girl, she did nothing wrong. Sure, maybe she had motives for being with one, but that feels unrelated to the case. Okay, like, just because that was going on doesn't mean she's a killer. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. By the way, it looks like there's 2 minutes 30 for the ads to begin on Twitch. So just a little warning, you can prepare yourselves. Ads will last for 3 minutes, and during ads I will have the game paused and keep it up afterwards so that everybody gets the same experience. Also, YouTube chat, thank you for the relief, but whether, like, I'm playing blind, so whether it's the truth or not, it's something I want to find out as I'm playing, so please refrain from posting spoilers. Thank you so much. Keep the promise, Phoenix. Don't reveal her most valuable moments to the court. Yeah, I really don't want it to come to that. I don't want us to just be total jerks to Adrian. Let's see, it was time for the show. Okay, we pressed all of it. Where's the contradiction? We pressed a lot. Let's see. This one must be really important since we unlocked it. Maybe the contradiction is here. Thank you for the hydration and stretch break. Let me get in on that right away. Let me stretch and I'll have a sip of water too. Take that! Spooky! Welcome! Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the flower, Aki. Oh, you're all having so much fun with your redeems. Love that. How are you, Spooky? Thank you for joining. We are cross-examining Adrian right now. Stretching felt good. I've been having lower back pains lately. I'm pushing 30. Is that too early or too late, chat? Had dinner with the fam? Oh, that's great. I hope it was delicious. Alright, so what do we present here? I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell onto the guitar case. This thing. So maybe that's why there was water on it. Bears Corrida's fingerprints. Wine glass, that's a little unrelated. Yeah, the flower. I guess the vase is in the crime scene picture. There it is. Yeah, we've got the broken vase with the flowers here, the tomato juice, the glass, the guitar case, the knife, lots of thingies here. Oh, let me make a save here. I'm going to present the guitar case. Because it's... Oh! Ads have started! Oh, I was so focused that I never realized. Well, I will leave you all on a little cliffhanger. Thank you so much for sticking around. Oh, taking a look at my at my VTuber, looks like I have actually better tracking today. I adjusted a setting in VTube Studio, so maybe that's why. Rice, peas, and hamoud, a Lebanese specialty. That sounds delicious. Ooh. I have been craving rice lately. I don't know why. I've just been craving something with like nice steamy white rice. Maybe a curry or like even like a soup that I like to make that's like a Greek soup with avrolemono, which is like egg and lemon sauce. It can be made with meatballs, so it's funny you mentioned that. I'm not a fan of artichokes myself, but I know they can be really healthy. But yeah, in that soup you can put whatever you want, and if you make the egg and lemon sauce, it just makes it really nice and thick. It's so delicious, and like if you make it thick and you put a lot of rice, it just makes it even thicker, so it's really, really good. Be it with meatballs, fish, chicken, just veggies, I love that soup. You wanna eat avrolemono one day, Aki? I hope you get a chance. It's so worth it. My boyfriend's family isn't a big fan of things that are like heavily lemon flavored, so I don't make it too often, but I do crave it now that it's been getting colder. Maybe it's the time for some soup. Anyways, I've been holding my water bottle for a while now. Let me just sip it so that redeem is that you claimed is done. And you all best be hydrating too, everybody. There we go. I love how every time I drink water, my VTuber is just like me when pog face. I have been working really hard in Live 2D, by the way. I've also got some really exciting audio projects going and even more like developing with my musical friends. But I have been working hard in Live 2D, and I've actually gotten about halfway to rigging a chibi model similar proportions to mine, but like a different character, very different art, plus it's just the one, it's not customizable like this one. But it's been extremely good practice. I want to get around rigging my actual full body VTuber model that I have, so it's gonna be great to keep that knowledge that I have been gathering. Okay, I'm going to mute just for a second, even though... Oh, hold on, it looks like ads are almost over, so I will just repeat myself. Hi, hello, we are so back from ads. We talked about food and soup, and I went on a tangent about my favorite type of Greek soup, because it's been cold, and in winter that's the perfect time, and then I was getting into how I've been really into Live 2D again lately. But I was going to be right back just for a small moment, small break, and I will be Right back to continue from this cliffhanger with Adrian Andrews. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for your patience. Just a minute, y'all. Alright, there we go. When I said a minute, really, I just meant like just a teensy bit needed to adjust something is all. So anyway, let's present the guitar case to this statement. Earlier it was like, no, murder weapon, so we were just like, knife, and then they were like, but what about the knife? And we just had to present knife again. So I'm thinking the words guitar case, I should present guitar case. I think I'm getting the hang of this game after like 120 hours, according to Steam. Yeesh. Oh, I actually got it? Ooh. You testify that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And you are sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem, it's a major problem. Oh, it's getting real. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. As I'm getting through this chat, please let me know if I'm blinking, cause I'm kinda like surprise judge right now. I think I'm like this but unblinking. Speaking of my tracking being better today, I think I forgot to adjust a parameter. Let me know. That's very true! Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? You'll try to blink less. You do be blinking though. Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Why are you yelling? Ah, I missed him so much. Feels like home now that he's back. What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Pat. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I think it actually does. What the heck? There is no deeper meaning. You have the willpower of a soybean. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Let's make her testify. What's going on here? This is filler. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Yeah, why was the guitar missing? It was, I should say, the jamming ninja's most important prop. Juan wouldn't have been caught without it. Who took it? Why was it left behind? He wouldn't just forget. Huh. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Hello, pot, meet kettle. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. The guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. Oh, why? It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. What are you talking about, Adrian? As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Oh, this is bad. That's all? It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. No, she's hiding something. How long have you been doing this, Judge? Why are you so bad at your job? There were only Juan's fingerprints on the case, not Adrian's also. Yeah, very true. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. I missed you too. You don't have to be so backhanded, Miles. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Manfred von Karma, thank you so much for the follow, I think. Oh, I would be so terrified if Manfred von Karma was behind me in real life. Thank you so much for the daily check-in. Thank you for following, for reals. Nice username. I was just joking, of course. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Yes, what are you doing out of prison? Your daughter has been shot in the shoulder. It's disastrous. I like Francisca. She's growing on me, really. Like, I had some beef with her, sure, but I didn't want her to get shot. It's lovely to have Edgeworth back, though. We've been talking about this with Chad for so long. Okay, let's forward. The guitar case, cross-examination. Don't remember too clearly because you were dazed. First of all, we will press. Let's save while we can as well. Let's save very often. I'm trying my best to not look at the guide too much. Anyways. For a weak man. Why did you call me weak, Edgeworth? What the heck? I'm called for. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see... Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Edgeworth, huh? Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Sounds like Edgeworth is doing his usual prosecution thing. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. Why would you open the guitar case? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Corrida's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you had to do was call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. That still doesn't explain it. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. Hello? I thought maybe the criminal took it. Oh, I guess? Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic... Okay, saying it's not a big deal though, right? Like, what do you mean? The case you're making is doing well, Fizzy Pixel? That's good to hear. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Hey, I'm just doing my job. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. Probably. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. Guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now. Wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. If I had a weapon to hit her with, I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record waiting to be found. Is it a tomato juice? Nah, I don't know. So we got the hotel map, the magazine that's irrelevant, guitar case again, wine glass. Oh, it did have Andrew's fingerprints. Oh, the wine glass, that is, not the guitar case. Okay, so I did have my facts straight. Crime photo. The notes, the knife. Lotus photo. It's a bit early for it, I believe. I'm gonna save here and try the guitar case again. I wanna figure it out without alt-tabbing to the guide all the time. Let's try. Oh, again? Wow. Great. There is no way you're the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. You're not Sherlock Holmes, Phoenix, right? Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Yeah. Ah. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. Can't believe it was actually right. Had to present guitar case twice, I guess. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? That would be random. And there might have been glove-like thingies instead of fingerprints. Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion, and yeah, the glass. Now I remember, I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Well, that's pretty strange, Mr. Judge. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Yeah, my blinks are totally not registering, even though my mouth tracking and like my movements are better today. Let me just... Okay, calibrate. There we go. And let me adjust my blink sensitivity. Sorry for this little intermission. There we go. This outfit has cute blinkies. You all deserve the blinkies. That was such a fun part of rigging the model I'm working on. Anyway. Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Right here, girlie. I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Yeah, what is going on here? Ugh. Oh, her glasses just broke, but she pulled out her spare pair, so it's all okay? Who thought of this animation? Order, order, order! Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. You missed it. We did need to present the wine glass in the end then. And her glasses broke in surprise, but she had another pair. I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. Oh, thank you for clipping, Aki. I appreciate that. Wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar! The bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. Yeah, how do we know it was at the studio? Who even told us that? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Phoenix, wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... Oh, the girlies are fighting. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? My cue. I love double saving. Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar... Oh, come on, everyone. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I don't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? What could it have been? Oh god, was it a someone? I feel like it was a someone for some reason, like gut feeling. Who could it have been? Okay, well, it wasn't Adrian. Celeste is dead. It wasn't Oldbag. It wasn't Matt. I don't think one would have been in the cage when he was right next to it. Was Lotta in there just hiding and spying? Yeah, if it's a who and not an it, then it's definitely Lotta. I can't think of anyone else. Matnya being kidnapped was later, eh? Maya got kidnapped about... Was it before or after the murder? It was while the... right after the murder, wasn't it? So yeah, it was later. Oh, shit! I misclicked. Okay, I'm just gonna reload. That was not worth it. I just meant to switch tabs. Oh, shoot. Now I went too far. Oh, no. Camera? No. Why, Mr. Wright? Put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be. Why does it get so mean to me? Okay, let's save here just so there's less dialogue to skip if we get it wrong again. What was inside the guitar case? The killer's transceiver, no. Lotus camera, I don't know. TBH, I don't think so. Oh, we presented it and they called me a dumbass, yeah, no. The magazine, no. Map, no way. What was in this case? Another guitar case, like a Matryoshka doll, Your Honor. Maybe the guide can help? Let me take a look at the guide. Oh, I see, I see. I kinda was thinking if it could have been this. I was thinking presenting Matt might have been it, but I guess we have to present the Nickel Samurai photo. Not sure why, but let's find out. Oh, nice. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. And she walked out in the costume. It makes sense, right? You're taking your sweet time making that, Fizzy Pixel. I'm glad you're having fun. What? She's so 2000 chic. I love her outfit. But Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Oh, we're getting to it already. Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Marangard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True, that is a little baffling. Mr. I, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? Stolen or a spare? Wasn't a guard also in costume? Maybe it was a spare? Mr. Angard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I am saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Korida, was the jamming ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies the sticking point. Why are you mumbling to yourself about now? Let's save here while Edgeworth's looking mad. 7 p.m. on the dot. Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Look, Phoenix doesn't seem the type, but I don't hear my inner monologue, Edgeworth. You gotta be more inclusive. Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had a nickel samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. Then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Okay, let's save here. That's more promising. And also probably less stuff to skip if we get it wrong and die. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Vikil Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... what was the reason for the spare Nickel Samurai costume? The bloody button? Maybe the order of things is wrong here, but that was my first thought. Oh! Oh! Come on, I'm just trying, Mia! Phoenix, what are you doing? Are you crazy? I presented this evidence with gusto, just like you said. Told to present it with gusto, yes. Seem to recall the sentence before that was. Think carefully. Okay, I'm sorry. You don't gotta bully me. So the reason we brought the spare costume. This has been a whole thing. I've been wondering if it's a red herring. The press conference ticket. This? Lotus photo, maybe? No, that couldn't have been... Unless while Adrian was... No, still, even if she was with one, like, why would they take the costume together? It still doesn't add up. I'll take a look at the guide now. I was so right! It says press conference ticket! Oh, I feel so smart right now. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Angard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing: the conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Mr. Corrida was going to impersonate Angard? Heyo. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Angard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. You are so beautiful. Miss Andrews, I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Hey, yo! Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. Really? Juan didn't look like that kind of person. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Ooh, music's getting intense. Keep saving because I'm scared. Saving every 5 minutes, that's the vibe. What? And do you know what the secret of Mr. Angard's is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Ah, I see. She's lying, Your Honor. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. Exactly. But that's to be expected. Well, do explain if I believe in you, so just explain. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Angard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the bottle and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. I see. This does account for everything, does it? Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with his testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. It looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Yeah, we checked Matt with the Magatama, is that it? Magatama, like in Shin Megami Tensei, I think. Yeah, Maya's Magatama. The setup is extremely suspicious and we know Matt didn't do it, so... Hold it. Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. Ugh. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Okay. So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes, do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Angard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. Angard himself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Proof he didn't know. Anyway, again, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, correct your testimony if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Tell me more. Has Mr. Angard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Corrida with his press conference. That event was supposed to bring down Mr. Angard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. Angard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Being the card she's filling with, being the killer's room that Maya is held in, that she found somewhere. Yeah, absolutely, she just keeps playing with it, and Maya found the same thing. It's strange, and she said she just found it, Adrian. He didn't have no alibi. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Angard was taking a nap in his room? You tell me now that that too was a lie so you cover up for Mr. Angard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. Those who confirmed the baton and the knife. Tell me more. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the baton? The baton? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the baton from the jamming ninja's costume. You're talking about this baton, correct? That baton was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Ugh. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With a nice stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. Baton was torn off by Juan to fight during his fight with Matt. How did it even end up down there? Baton being the only bloody thing, the costume not being stained anywhere else. Oh my goodness. Like, yeah, there's just a tiny stain here, but nowhere else. Like, if you stab someone there, blood just comes out gushing. He was strangled before. Yeah, strangled then stabbed, but still, blood would still be coming out then. How do you know that? When the ends of the threads on the baton and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly, or so I heard. Heard that before too. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not. Ah, and I thought I had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what? Oh, about Matt's costume, like it wasn't Matt, and if we're suspecting Adrian, perhaps she put on the spare costume afterwards. I still don't believe she killed Juan, but I don't know. Anything to trip her up on has to be here, but where and what? And Matt's manager felt that how to protect him. What he really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? At the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? And yeah, she wouldn't have left if she thought that Matt was a murderer and she had to protect him. She would take away the weapon at least. Taki, you are so right as always. This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Angard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? Remember to hydrate, everyone. It's the same reason why Mr. Corrida planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Angard as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright Wax Philosophical Power Hour. And please stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy. It's getting so heated, chat. We literally are saving every 5 minutes. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more. Know this by now. Welcome back, Fizzy. You'll need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk. Got it, Chief. I'm going to pin you down this time, Miss Andrews. So, photos, Nickel Samurai, hotel map. We have this picture and this picture. Oh, the button, knife. Let's read. Strangle with a scarf, stab with a knife. 8:15 p.m. Fizzy says, thank you. Glad you're all having fun watching the stream. No alibi. Button was torn off of one during his fight with Matt. But there are so many things that don't add up. Oh? I was doing things a little randomly. This is the victim's autopsy report. Clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation. The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume. When? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. Ah, that's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Looks like ads are starting in 10 minutes, so you can all start preparing. Objection. What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? Why does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean... Oh, 2 points. Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? Destroy evidence, pin the crime on mat, have a memento of the crime. Who picks that? It was to pin it on guard, right? There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Angard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. Angard was set up. By the real killer, of course. Is this another typo? The real murder is? Maybe you mean murder, Judge? Well, Mr. Wright? Who in the world is the real killer then? Oh, something tells me save, save, save here. There we go, feel secure now. Finally, I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Angard, is... Let's think about this. W grammar, for real. It wasn't Maya, it wasn't Lil Pearly, wasn't Gumshoe, wasn't Francisca, wasn't Edgy. Will wouldn't hurt anybody. Lotta wouldn't. One is the victim. Matt wouldn't frame himself. Olbank? Wait, no! Come on! That or the killer! Why is the game trying to make me take the killer seriously? Anyway, holy shit, I was just reading out all the names. Really doesn't seem it could be anyone but Adrian we can present here. I hate this chat. I don't want her to be the murderer. That's so cheap. Well, let's present it. Oh, the music stopped. Why? Miss Adrian Andrews. I had saved, so I didn't want to look at the guide. I will if I... Why are you going as... Are you Ash Ketchum? Hello, Nintendo lawsuit moment? I choose you! You are Mr. Corrida's killer! But what? Her glasses broke again? How many spares does she have? Order, order, order! Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. What if she was also set up? I still believe in her. I'm not accepting this. How preposterous! You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then, what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Angard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's hakama? This button was removed after the victim's body had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Angard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own hakama. Ah, her glasses keep breaking. What's going on? The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Angard's hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? Yeah, what about that? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Oh? The costume was used to hide the killer's real identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who would have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. Oh no, don't make her cry. I wanna hug her, Adrian. I don't believe you did it. Don't believe Phoenix. He's a minion, a bully. No, But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrew purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Ah! And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Angard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? But please, stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Huh. Well, yes. But we violate everyone's rights in this game, so why would this matter? Says the judge. You're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination, by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. We are in Japan. Well, I guess we're in Japanifornia. It's okay. I wonder how the Japanese case handled this if this American adaptation uses the splitting the fifth. I'm gonna have to look that up later. I'm really curious. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Angard's room. All ads in 15 seconds. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what just discussed. Understood? Sure will. Okay, I'll see you right after the ad break. See you in 3 minutes for 1 more hour of that reviewing, and I will pause the game here and keep it up when we're back. Take care, stay hydrated, and maybe grab a snack. See you very soon. Not gonna lie, this background music goes so hard. It's so good. Okay, if I blink like real hard, it registers, but if I'm just regularly blinking, do I still need to up my sensitivity? Sorry to leave you all on a cliffhanger, but I want my little cat boy to have good tracking since I adjusted my settings. Alright, if I up the sensitivity to like 67. Hope that isn't too much. If I blink too much at any point, let me know if my model's weird or anything. Weird behavior, I mean the art is adorable and so is the rig. Check my credits if you're curious, and if you're also a streamer, you can grab yours. It's a customizable model for 1,000 yen, so about $9 on Booth. It's a cute model, I really like it. Back to Francisca. Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? Heh heh heh. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Oh, rude. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Sanders did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida. Oh, will I have to present... Let me check the guide. Okay, I was scared I would have to do something I didn't want to do. Looks like we're good. Miss Sanders, Did you want to kill Mr. Corrida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's taking a defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time, huh? What's going on? Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. And the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. Oh, again? Recess? I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get a verdict, then Maya... But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... Oh, edgy? It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true Miss Sanders holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not staring at a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Don't mind me chewing some gum. Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can get a good read of him. Is he friend or foe? He's my lover. I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. When I found the body, glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And one, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, again, who likes tomato juice? I'm so sorry if any tomato juice likers are watching, but I disagree with you, so let's agree to disagree. Okay, then you're very valid, Aki. I like it in cooking. I wouldn't drink a glass of it, but it's very nutritious, so more power to you. You can have it all. I don't need it. Let's go. Didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. I am a big tomato fan, so that's why I think it's funny I don't like tomato juice, because any form of tomato, raw or cooked in any other shape and form, I will very gladly consume it. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. I'm just not a big fan of vegetable juices. Carrot juice too, I like if a smoothie has a little bit of it, but if it's like a straight glass of carrot juice, then like... And don't even get me started on green juices. I love green vegetables very much, but not drinking them. Sorry, Hatsune Miku Popipo, I have failed you. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may Being Poppy Pond. You may begin your cross-examination. Okay, let's press her really hard. Let's save. Haven't done that in like 20 minutes. I definitely had to save. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right? Of course not. Then who did you pour it for? Mr. Wright, there is a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer? Okay, leave me alone. Be quiet and listen. Don't lecture me. Wouldn't have said it better myself. Everyone is always so mean to me. So, it was a mess? Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corrida? I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. And then, what did you see next? One was slumped over, tired looking. Slumped over? Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Is it just me, or did that sound just a little odd right there? What did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix, and then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. That's very imaginative. Anyways, that's what I thought. I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all. So I went to pour him some juice. You thought he fainted? I thought he was asleep at first. But then the room was in such a messy state. I thought maybe he had got into a fight with someone. And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice? Yes. He always has a hard time waking up. So one always has a glass of tomato juice to drink. I see. And after that, what happened next? When I realized he was dead, Yeah, poor one, he was too base to die. How did you come to realize that he was, in fact, dead? Shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backward and knocked the flower vase over. So that's what happened. Yes. This is what it all comes down to. Huh? This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. If she shook him, there are fingerprints of her on him, that's valid. I wonder if we... Alright, let's make another save just to save some time. Dun, dun, dun. Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews will tell us the truth this time. Didn't cross your mind at all? Thought he had just fainted. It's all so far-fetched. Like, come on, you don't see that and be like, oh, he's probably just asleep, probably just fainted. Come on, it's a mess, it's clearly a crime scene. Why is she talking so twisted? Come on, is she really the killer? I'm going to cry if she is. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Maybe she was in denial still. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? Ah, but what is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corrida's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. Well, you see... Doubt a single person in the world will mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is? Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. Again. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. For real? For real? No! Oh, well. Oh, this music too? Wait, is it over? Should have kept that glasses breaking count. God, I mean, I wouldn't have known. That would have been really funny, though. Damn, if it's final, then she's really the killer. If it's playing this music, I don't like that chat. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Marangard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But we know he didn't. Welcome back, Fizzy. We're just about wrapping up the case if this background music is anything to go by. You were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Marangard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses their guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Marangard. Oh? Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. Really? The absolute real truth? What are you? Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Marangard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. So that's the gift from the killer? Oh, is it? No, I hate that. It's Franziska von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. It was the killer who told us, not Edgy, huh? Maybe I remember that wrong. Now right now, Miss Andrews says, yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Madame Guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undoubtedly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All I have to do now is get her not guilty. That is my only priority. Wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill one. Help, please, someone help me. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? Come now. What will you do? Again? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? First he calls me a weak man, now he's like, what kind of man are you? Edgeworth, are you okay? Not gonna be like, can you please make my client not guilty? Let's force Andrews, she's hiding something. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. No one should making a face like that. Miss Andrews. I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end? Be quiet, how dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth? Oh? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried... Oh, come on, Edgy, why are you the one doing that? I really want to know to rub it in her face and you're the one doing it? Okay, so she has tried an attempt in the past. Stop, please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Why are you doing this? That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. Look, even if you've done something like that in the past, it doesn't say anything about your true nature. I don't like what they're implying here. As I was saying in the beginning of the stream, depending and relying on others is just the nature of being human. It's not a flaw. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop, I beg you. If people find out, I'll... Edgeworth, what's wrong with you? You're going to say that you would choose death? That is of no concern to me. Edgeworth, the kind of type to send anon hate on Tumblr, for real, for real. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? Yeah, come on, man. However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. Oh my god, what? You're so dramatic. No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Nothing matters anymore. My crime. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed one's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. Stab the body with a knife? Why would you do that? Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? Certain cowardly man. But what do you mean by all of this? It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. What does that mean? Last time? So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, one corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. But who was the killer? Who strangled one? And this is her crime, quote unquote. Yeah, Matt was not the killer. The Magatama did not think he was being honest. What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? So it's not her. I am so glad. As we kept saying, would have been so cliché. Oh, thank goodness. Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Let's press. Let's make a save. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but that scarf is a part of the jamming ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. What is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it to Mr. Angard's hakama. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? What was that inconvenience? An inconvenience. There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. Lotta. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. Aerodynamic Phoenix. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. That's Miss Allback for you. Had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. That's why she used the costume. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is this secret? That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the nickel samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Angard's room and planted the button? Into Matt's hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word! What does this all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Angard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Francisca, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I'd done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she's not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial? Wow, sure was turbulent. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Wow! Someone should make an edit so the judge's gavel makes a vine boom. This is uncanny. Why is the seat empty? Yeah, that's me right now. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Maya! Edgeworth? Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remembered just now I found this in the room on that day. How convenient. The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. Definitely does. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why... Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. Oh, he mad. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card? What in the world is it and what does it mean? Oh, come on! No way! To be continued? I wanna know what the card is! I wanna know! Victory music. Well... And Friday's Halloween, and I've got a little special one planned for that, so we'll be on this cliffhanger at least for like a few days, chat. Oh goodness, yet another cliffhanger. This is how it all ends. Let's put on some nice AA music. And prepare the raid messages. I'm going to look for who's online right now, who we could go watch. Oh, that was such a fun stream. That trial just took you left and right and up and down, didn't it? I hope you all had fun. Hope you all enjoyed. Twitch, YouTube. One heart more. Perfect. Can never have too many pride hearts. Yep, I will be leaving all of you off at... What's the legal jargon? Disagreeing with a statement. This VTuber model looks really cute. Floofy streaming, huh? I'd like to check out this stream, though, this VTuber. Looks like they're also on Blue Sky. Maybe we can become... you know, acquainted. That'd be fun. Yep, just be nice to the chat. That's all the rules, pretty much. Let's all get ready for the raid. Thank you so much for coming and watching today. I had a lot of fun. Hope you're having a fun autumn so far. Fun spooky week. And okay, I can't hold it in on Friday, we are going to play Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Yeah, that's the word. I was gonna say Phantom Attorney for a sec. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which is by the same directors of Ace Attorney, unless I'm like mistaken there. I think that's it though. It's by Capcom, so I'm very excited for that. I will be seeing all of you on Friday. Have a great time. No, it's okay. We have like a few seconds left for the raid. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.